Are we on the air?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are, Toronto. OTA Talk.
Before we start, I gotta give a couple quick shout outs to the dudes that hooked us up with the beats for tonight's show. Big shouts to Arthur MacArthur and Rugged One. Check them out. MySpace.com/Arthur MacArthur and MySpace.com/InTouchSoundStudio. Let's go.
Beautiful. If you're just tuning in, it's OTA Talk. We do this once a month. Our guests, the Godfathers, 2 of them.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4.
Yeah, something like that.
We had one of them last year by the name of Ron Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
We got with us Master T and Mr. Ivan Berry. First question, and I'll direct this to Master T because, quite frankly, between yourself, Wayne Williams, maybe Dwight Drummond, and JoJo Chinto, in terms of black professional broadcasters, you guys were the reason why I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. Coming up for you, did you have that opportunity to be influenced by somebody of color in the local urban industry?
Locally, it was kind of tough. But actually, it was Daniel Corderone, who actually worked for MTV, which is now Omni. He used to host a show called Black World, and he was instrumental in giving me my break. I pestered him and I bugged him to try and work. I wanted to work behind the scenes on the show, and I bugged him, and then he finally said, come on, you can do a report. And I said, no, that's not what I want to do. I just want to help. I want to carry coffee. I don't necessarily want to be on the air.
Yeah.
And he let me go out there and create stories, and I did community stories. That was my first entry into broadcasting. So I really definitely big him up.
Was it tough for you not wanting to be in front of the camera to gain that confidence?
Yeah, big time. Because I'm cute, but I'm not the most handsome brother. I don't consider myself in my own insecurities. I thought you had to be this tall, dark, and extremely handsome dude to be on television. But for me, it was about. I really had something to say. When I had the opportunity, I realized, the most important thing for me once I got on the air was it was about music. And I was raised in a real West Indian family, and my dad played the reggae, and he played the ska, and I went to parties and ate my curry goat and rice, and held a little Guinness here, and I was 6-7 years old, and I mean, you become entrenched in that culture, and you become entrenched in music. And for me, it was very important once I got on the air was to put the music out there, but also combined with that, I was a frustrated actor. So that's how a lot of the characters came out, and that's where the black community said, "We like watching, but the man crazy." For a while they really couldn't get it, but at the same time I wanted to entertain, but I also wanted to to really push the music out and also deal with our local industry. I realized after a while I was that vehicle, because at the time I was radio and I was also television. So it was very important for me to support whatever was happening in the city.
No doubt.
Now you came here by way of England.
England, yeah, Leeds.
Ivan, you came here by way of St. Kitts?
Yeah, St. Kitts.
For you, what did you bring to what did the Caribbean experience bring to the table for you developing into manager, label owner, all that stuff?
Certainly everything. I certainly the Caribbean and the way, we were brought up in the Caribbean. I came here when I was 15, so, a lot of my upbringing was already inbred, very deeply.
Yeah.
Whether it's by licks or, enough talks from parents or family or whatever. But I think what I brought to the table up here is a sense of, I think we all moved here, and we understand that for the Caribbean people that moved here and wasn't born here, we kind of, as we get older, we understand what our parents went through to actually bring us here, to give us a better life, and what we claimed back then as a better life. I mean, the reality of it is now you kind of, say to your parents, why did we move? The Caribbean is so beautiful, etc.
Yeah.
But certainly back then, for Caribbean parents, it was about the educational opportunities. It was about making more money in jobs and stuff like that. And it wasn't just about beautiful beaches. So they brought us here to have the opportunity of a better, university education. I shouldn't say better education, because I'm certainly convinced that the Caribbean primary school system is better than the North American system.
Here, and that's coming from someone that experienced it for about 5-6 years.
Yes. So I shouldn't say a better education. I should say a further education into many opportunities for colleges, universities, etc. So I came here with the understanding that my parents went through a lot to get me here, and I can't fail them. I can't fail my small island, and I can't fail the Caribbean, because all eyes was on us as black people and as Caribbean people in general. So we had to make something not just successful of ourselves, but something credible of ourselves. And that was absolutely crucial, I think, for all of us that's here from the Caribbean.
Completely agree. Now, you talk about like influences and responsibility, and for you guys, it was pretty much it started with the two of you. T, we get right into it. Rap City, Extendamix. How did that come about for you?
Well, I was a cameraman, and there was an opportunity that they were looking to create a 3-hour dance format, and my wife and I, who's still my wife and business partner and wife and mother and all the rest of it, we work very closely together. And so I said, look, there's an opportunity to do a show here, and I said, I'm going to put together a pilot. And I said, I've got this idea for my co-host, which would be a keyboard, and it's a talking keyboard. And she's like, and I said, I want you to be the voice. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever, So I got this sampler, which is W30 at the time, and so I recorded 10 samples of her voice, and then I had a script in my head, and it would be like, hey, how's everybody doing out there? Is Master T coming your way? How you feeling, Roxy? I'm feeling fine. So it was this whole thing. So we did that, created the pilot, and then I gave it to Moses Neimer. And Moses was like, hey, I love the concept and everything, and then he gave me the green light to go on the air. But at first I thought, wow, I'm going to be on the air and this is great. But I was hosting and producing a 3-hour show. But the true Chump City way was I was also a full-time cameraman as well.
Yeah,
so I was doing both.
You were hustling.
Yeah,
I was
totally
definitely hustling.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of Roxy is the fact that we all knew that he had to press the button, so obviously he knew what to say to her, but it was still so beautiful. Like, it didn't matter. Whether he was just pressing the button and going into it, it just was Roxy.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on. So far we've learned 2 lessons. Lesson number 1, you gotta volunteer before you get anywhere in this biz. And lesson number 2 is hustle, man. How you doing a show and working full-time cameraman?
I mean, honestly, it came to a point that, that the show had become popular enough. I mean, the show came out of the box, and after 2 weeks, the head of sales came up to me, and he said, he came up to me smiling, and for me, it was very important to know everyone in the building. I just didn't want to be on the first floor. I wanted to know the guy on the second, third, and fourth floor. And he came up to me, and I said, why are you smiling? He goes, I'm very happy. I said, why are you happy? Because we have a sponsor. And the sponsor was Mars Bar at the time, and this was a huge corporate sponsor for the network and him.
Yeah.
And so then I realized, the value and the power of what was happening here.
And then you stopped working cameraman.
Well, no, you know what? I didn't stop. I was still doing camera to the point that I was having heart palpitations. And I went to them. I said, look, it's like this. The show's popular enough, and it's one or the other. You either pay me to do camera, or you pay me to be to be on the air.
Crazy.
And they were like, well, obviously the show's popular and we're branding it and all the rest of the stuff, so we'll let you put the camera down.
Good decision.
Who was the first Canadian artist you had on the show?
The first Canadian artist?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good question. Let me call my mom. She has all the tapes.
You guys, you have all the tapes.
My mom recorded I did a book in 2002, and I had to go to my mom and literally sign out tapes of all the recordings. She had all, I didn't even tape it. She has
YouTube.
She has the
You need to put that stuff up.
Yeah, she has the vault, man. She has a crazy library.